recording.
It's a meditation, yeah.
Right.
Very good, everybody. So now we can do the meditation. So please sit in a comfortable position, preferably in your cupboard. No. So often, whenever you are meditating, you close your eyes, and you could be anywhere in the whole world sometimes. And I often use that possibility. I close my eyes. With my eyes closed, you kind of imagine in some of the most beautiful places you've ever meditated in your life. So peaceful, so still. Never underestimate the power of an imagination. It can create a feeling associated with those memories, especially when it was very beautiful and pleasant. For example, can you recall the first time you ever got into a peaceful, deep meditation? Where were you at that time? The most wonderful meditation you've experienced so far in your life. Where were you? Who were you with? What was the weather, the temperature? How was your body? I sometimes do this in times when I've been really sick, weak, in pain. I'm still able to get into deep meditations. When I remember that, it kind of reminds me it's always possible. So when I'm meditating like this, remembering those past moments, the thing which always comes up is I learned how to let go. Let go means not expecting anything, not striving. I always needed to rest more. By rest, I don't mean falling asleep. Falling asleep is peaceful, but you're not there, mindful to enjoy it. I take away the striving, the stress, the pushing and the pulling on my body. So let every muscle, every tendon, everything in the body just relax to the max. So nothing is being stretched, nothing is being squashed, which I can avoid. I let everything in my body get loose and peaceful and free. I don't mind if other people look at my posture and think that that's not a good posture. Instead, I trust my body. My body can feel. My body knows what's comfortable for it. I never try to impress others. I just try and be at peace. To be kind to my body, not kind to any cameras. And my loving kindness goes to this body in which I am sitting meditation. I care for your body. I really mean that. When I start to develop the feelings, experiences of caring, I find so many areas of my body which need to be adjusted. The very fact that I am diligent looking after my body. I'm not just assuming, I'm investigating, getting to know from personal experience how my body feels, what it needs this morning. I never assume that what worked yesterday will work today. I look at my body afresh. Very often, like just now, I'm just looking at my legs, my butt sitting on a cushion. My legs felt so relaxed, more relaxed than usual. Whatever I was doing had helped my legs. I can't feel much tension at all in those legs. Nothing is being stretched. Nothing is just being squashed. It's like sometimes I imagine this body of mine is being pushed and pulled, squashed by invisible demons. I imagine all those demons, they're pulling and squashing and stretching and whatever, and now just go home. My body can be free, can be loose. It needs to expand, to stretch, lessen any pressure on it. It's free to do that. This is where that relaxing to the max came from. Just allow my body just to be. It gets really very relaxed. It doesn't get totally comfortable. At my age, that's kind of impossible. But it gets more relaxed than usual. And what's left is just not a problem at all. And I look at my stomach, my back, twisting them around a bit just to give them a bit of freedom. My shoulders. Sometimes I imagine the muscles in my shoulders like these, again, sheaves of reeds, strings, and they're being stretched. I don't know why they're being stretched, but I can feel the tension in them. I then imagine that these two sides, called my shoulders, two of them, I lessen the tension on the extremes of both group of muscles. When I let go, relax the tension, and those shoulders relax. And that tightness, which could have caused pain, disappears. And my shoulders are just as relaxed as if someone had given them a massage. I did that myself. And look even my hands. Usually I put my hands in my lap. Now my hands are on the knees. Is that right? I just ask my hands, how are you? I get a very clear, mindful response. My hands are happy there right now. So I'll let them stay. Then my head. I love relaxing the muscles in the face, around the eyes, the nose, the mouth, because they tighten up whenever there's an emotional problem. And I relax them. The mind appears more peaceful. One thing which I do, not all the time, but often, I imagine my brain My brain inside my skull. It's just an imagination. I imagine lifting up my skull, opening it, as if there was a hinge just above the right ear. I open the skull. I take out my brain. I put it in a little basket, which is super comfortable, with a nice cushion on which it can rest on, with beautiful blankets. I can tuck it in and say, brain, you work too hard. Take a rest. Brain, you don't have to do any work for the next 40 minutes. And so I put my brain to bed, tuck it in, and let it be. I feel I don't need the intellectual side of my being, signified by the brain. I need to feel, to develop what's called an emotional intelligence. What my emotional intelligence tells me is necessary. This beautiful kindness, kindness to my body, kindness to my brain, kindness to my mind. How do you feel emotionally right now? How can you soften those emotions? You don't need to feel afraid at all. There's beings you don't know looking after you, caring for you. Be at peace. Let this moment be. You have nothing to do. But don't tell yourself you have to be mindful. Don't tell yourself you have to be kind. Don't give yourself any instructions at all. Just be aware and kind. Give yourself enough time. Be patient to allow these qualities, which you actually do know very well, to grow inside of you. Give them the space to flourish. They flourish by themselves if given a chance. Give yourself a chance for peace. Can you hear the sound of peace? Can you experience the physical feeling of comfort? Can you let that peace go deep inside of you? Let it go where it needs to go. Trust your body and mind. And we'll be quiet now. My own mind starts to get very peaceful.
Mm.
It is getting very close to the end of this meditation period. How do you feel? I always like to bring awareness, the state of the body and the state of the mind at the end of a meditation. That is where we start to see the benefits. You see, this meditation can work, and how beautiful it is when it does work. And what works for you. So, in your own time, please open your eyes to finish the meditation period. Excellent. So, for the last 15 minutes before we break off for lunch and whatever you need to do, I did put my hand up to volunteer to actually just say a few words about how you can help, why doing what we call dana, this generosity, is an essential part of our Buddhist tradition. When I was a student, a poor student, I used to go to all of the talks of the Buddhist Society in Cambridge. It used to be called Cubs, Cambridge University Buddhist Society. I never got to Scouts, just the Cubs. But I do remember that one evening there was a nun. A nun was giving a talk on how she was doing her social work, helping in the province of Sikkim in northeast of India, just helping just poor children. And I do remember that it inspired me. And it inspired me so much that I got her details. And the next morning, I actually went to my bank in Cambridge. And I had my small student account. And I took out, I think it was £10. This was in 1969 or 70. And to me, that was 2 weeks of food money. I was on a grant. That's the only way I could get to a university like that. My mother was supposed to do some contributions, but no way I could accept any money from my poor mum. I wanted to help her. But nevertheless, I think it was not £10, maybe £20. I'm not sure, but something around that amount. And I went hungry, literally. I had to do without many things for a couple of weeks. But I always remember that donation, which I sent over to India for her little community. It made me feel just that I could do without, but I could also help. And that dana, that donation, gave me so much happiness. I remember that every year. And so that now is opportunity. If any of you can do a dana, if you can afford it or not, I don't mind. It's lovely just to give to something like Anukampa Bhikkhuni Project. I always get the name wrong, but I think you can find out the real details. You know what I'm talking about. Of course, I've been at the start of this project, and just to know just how much hard work it is. And if anybody can support it, next little donation here, a donation there, it does really help. I do know that the Anukampa Bhikkhuni Project, since we bought this beautiful place here in Boar's Hill, outside of Oxford, the Anukampa Bhikkhuni Project still is in debt. Can you hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're still in debt, and we have other things which we need to do, like the office, and just making sure this house is really, really hot. So it'd be nice to sort of do some more insulation so it's more comfortable and less work for Ayachanda. That's one of the things which I really am always concerned about, to make sure that she works so hard that she has some peace in her life, in a place where she can go on retreat, and the place is kind of comfortable for her. So she never has to worry about a thing. And this is actually how we build up our community of people which are giving on all sides. I come and give as much as I can when I come over here. And I don't know if you know, but I have my own sponsors to make sure that I get the air tickets. I never ask anything from Anukampa. My job is to give. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to give whatever I can. Any talks, any sort of encouragement, any praise. And it's lovely to be able to do this. And I'm getting, I know that you don't like me saying this, I'm getting old. Actually, as my monks in Bodhinyana Monastery tell me, I'm not getting old. They said, I'm already old. So I don't have much, physical energy, but at least I have the energy which is coming from trusting me. All those years I've been a good monk, trusting. And it's now, if any of you, can just, I say this, and I'm not embarrassed doing this because I know when I've done this, how much it really helps my practice. To be able to donate a little bit, whichever way you do it. I don't know how that donations work. I just encourage people to do that. And it actually uplifts the meditation. It uplifts the wisdom. You feel really good about yourself. And this is a project which I've seen for so many years, and it's well worth it. Even though I don't get anything out of this, if this gets even more successful, Ayachanda, it's just more work for me. I've got enough monasteries to look after as it is. But nevertheless, this always has a special place in my heart simply because I was born in England. I always feel that I have a duty, not just a duty, like a loving duty, to be able to serve and help, the people, who just I grew up with, the people I knew since I was really small, growing up in UK. And many of the places here which I come and visit every now and again, sometimes it just brings back some beautiful memories. I had a very blessed childhood. And whenever you have good fortune, good parents, good education, and good people helping me in my first years as a Buddhist monk, actually, first years as a Buddhist, we're still good friends. You always feel that there comes a time when you want to give back. So I don't have money, obviously, because I'm a monk. I've given everything away. But I still remember just once when I first went to Singapore, and I was taking around the main temples in Singapore. And one of the places I was taken in Singapore was the Sri Lankan Buddhist temple. And when I went to the Sri Lankan Buddhist temple, the head monk there said, Ajahn Brahm, would you mind signing the guest book? So I picked up the guest book and signed it. Now, first of all, my name, Ajahn Brahm, address Bodhinyana Monastery in Perth, Western Australia. In the next column, I was quite surprised. How much are you donating? And I realized I made a mistake. Instead of picking up the guest book, I picked up the donation book. And I would not just cross anything out. When they put in, I was asked, how much are you donating? I thought very quickly, actually not thinking, just got a beautiful insight. And I wrote down the two words, MY and LIFE, my life. And that's my donation. It's still recorded in the donation book at the Sri Lankan Buddhist Temple in Sri Lanka. That's how much I love giving. I'm so pleased at doing things like that because I can see the benefits of it. So every time I come back to UK and I see the progress of this community here, and you're part of it. If you're part of it, just give to it. Become part of it. You never, ever, 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 ever regret it. It's the thought, the memory, that it's not just learning meditation for yourself, it's making life possible for other people to learn meditation, your children and your children's children. And I'm not looking too far ahead because over those years, I've supported communities, monasteries, temples, Buddhist groups, and now those children, those parents who started those temples, now their children and their grandchildren go there. We are really creating a huge community. And it's not just for UK, it's for the whole world. I'm not exaggerating. You go to other places and say, oh, you went to that retreat. Yeah, my mother went to that retreat as well. And you can see the goodness, the harmony, the peace, the joy, the sense of community which we generate. So I'm not sure exactly how to donate. Just you can put in the donation box a little letter or a piece of paper and just write there MYLIFE, my life, just like I did. Maybe that's a bit too much, but please help. It makes life very, very easy for us.
You can say about the new nuns.
New nuns. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the Bhikkhuni Sangha grow?
Oh, yeah. We've seen, it's not buildings which are the most important. They're important, you have to have a place to stay. But see the community grow. And of course, this year, we've seen really exciting, not 2 new monasteries, but 2 new nuns. Now that is mega. That's really big. People actually wanting to join the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And when that happens, I don't know if I'm here when that ordination happens, I have to be here somewhere. You do it over there. Love it if it's here. Then you'll see even this old monk who's done lots of meditation. You see me getting teary-eyed. It inspires you. It's actually happening. Buddhism for women, Theravada is actually here and it's growing. It's alive. And that's huge. I often said to many people, because I know how hard this was to start off the Bhikkhuni ordination. I was there at the beginning. I got into trouble for it. I was very proud of getting into trouble for it. And now it's happening. When you see the results of that, no pressure on you, the Anagarikas here, just enjoy it and see what happens. You don't want to sort of make it like you are trailblazers, people who start and have to be the front car in the caravan, which always gets the bugs on the windscreen. Sorry?
I'm not.
Yeah, well,
I'll protect them.
there's plenty of bugs as well getting in your windscreen eventually. But anyway, you're protected, you're loved, supported. And it's wonderful we're seeing that. So please help support it, make it happen. Yay.
Awesome. Can I just say one more thing? One more little thing?
No, you can say more than one thing.
Okay. Well, one big thing, important thing is many of you have been to visit. Many of you have been showing Ajahn Brahm, all our previous guests, and that is also something you can benefit from here. So you're always welcome. Not all at once, because we only have a few rooms, but you're always welcome to come and stay and to really benefit from living an integrated lifestyle, because It's different from being on retreat, and it's different from being in the world in your usual life. It's a kind of in between being in a monastery. So you get to practice, you get some solitude in the afternoons and on our quiet days, but you also have the chance to practice and work together, serve together with spiritual friends.
And you can see what Ayachanda is really like.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
What do you mean, okay?
Okay, very okay. I should keep quiet. I always get myself into trouble.
You can see how equanimous I am to being constantly teased.
Teased?
Yeah. But do come and appreciate and enjoy the atmosphere, because it's a really quiet and beautiful place, and
That's
it's
true.
really easy to get to from Oxford. So you never know, you might come and get so inspired that you also think about losing your hair. So what else? One more thing, because we won't have time to say everything this afternoon. Hopefully you've got the new schedule for the afternoon, which should be a lot of fun. But one more thing is the events over the summer. So these online retreats are not isolated. They are embedded within an ongoing program from Anukampa. So you can go on our website and find that we have many regular events. We usually have the sutta discussions on a Friday evening and metta meditations on a Saturday with myself. But during the time that I'm on retreat at Ajahn Brahm's monastery, being a visitor and being a retreatant and disappearing to a great extent, hopefully for good, in my absence. Huh?
It will disappear you.
It will disappear me. It will swallow me up. Anyway, so we've organized weekly teachings from about 8 or 9 or 10 different bhikkhunis, which is pretty incredible, because I don't know that there's any other channel anywhere that has all those different bhikkhunis giving teachings. And Bhante Sujato and Ajahn Brahm are also going to be popping in. I know, but they're bhikkhunos. They're our honorary guests. And it's pretty hard to twist Bhante Sujato's arm, but I got some titles that he likes, which are, what's the word? Not spiky, which are, what's the word? Fiery? Anyway, a little bit juicy titles. So that actually starts on the 6th of July, before I've even left, on the 6th of July with Aya Adimati. So that'll be great. She's the only Kiwi bhikkhuni in the world. So you have a pom and you have apples and kiwis, you have a fruit salad of bhikkhunis. So anyway, I guess that's all for now. And I think Manoi's put details about the kind of donations you can make. And this afternoon, we're having a little fun auction as well, and some time to ask your final questions, and also have a little chat together in small groups. So, and we'll end with a blessing and a bit of metta meditation. We changed things around a bit this afternoon because I realized it's really good to end with metta meditation and close things off that way. So we'll see you soon. Today it starts again at 2:30. That's the big difference. That's the main difference. The rest will just flow. But please be back at about 20 past 2, so that we can start promptly at 2:30. Okay, and